All right, y'all. What up? What up? Peace, peace, peace. Just want to come back with a quick video for y'all, real quick, man. Cause you know it's crazy. Um, it's really like cause I remember, and I'm in the group with both The Wire and the Sopranos group. The shows were The shows were very different, but they were similar in a way. Honestly, it's a lot of like similarities, but but overall, it's really two different shows, but kind of broaching the same well, it's kind of similar theme sometimes, but it's just really different, honestly. Like because me personally, I think The Wire is best, but it's kind of one. It could change, vary, but I think The Wire is the best show of all time. If you say The Sopranos, you're not even lying. You can't go wrong with that, honestly. But it's just I think honestly The Wire, because it was really the main character. Like there was no main character in The Wire. The main character in The Wire wasn't even the city of Baltimore. It was American society, Western American society within itself, honestly. And meanwhile, and of course with the Sopranos talked it deals with Tony Soprano. He's the main character, but also it was relatable as well because one, the authenticity of both shows, and two, the Sopranos, it focused more on of course the family drama, in the mind of that mafia world, even regular, but it's still relatable to regular life, honestly, what everyday people kind of go through. So that's one thing. But honestly, they were so different, but they're similar at the same time. Very, but this is one of the similarities, honestly. Too, and it's crazy because it's like kind of the beginning and ending. This is the first season of The Wire, honestly. So, but and then it's dealing with death and how you can't prepare for it. And this, of course, is the classic scene of Avon with a little too slow, a little too late. Now we're gonna go to the last season of The Sopranos and go into what Bobby Bacalari says about how death, you won't see it coming, honestly. And that's why The Sopranos, the blackout scene was very brilliant, honestly. As I watch other videos and now years later going back into it, people really starting to realize really that's how honestly death comes most of the time. It's not going to be very dramatic or how it is in movies and TVs and very histrionic. Because sometimes it's going to be just black. It's just darkness is black. So that's just what it is. But we're going to go into this, man, because it's very. Though both of these were very, very, very similar, honestly. These were, and it's crazy because this is the beginning of The Wire, and but in the end of Sopranos, we're gonna, go into it. So
See, the thing is, you only got to fuck up once. Be a little slow, be a little late, just once. And how you ain't gonna never be slow, never be late? You can't plan for no shit like this, man. It's life.
that's right. That's right. Yeah, like Avon said, played by the great Wood Harris. That's life. You can't. I mean, I'm a believer in the Bible and in the scriptures, So I personally think it's the Lord's will if we see another second, minute, day, week, month, year, or 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, if that be His will. But that's another story for another day. This is the but those that don't believe it, that's just what it is. But I would encourage y'all to kind of see that viewpoint more, honestly. But anyway, yeah, man, that's just is what it is. Like you said, you can't prepare for his life. It's just it's just you won't see it coming, honestly. Now there's a little bounce and nuance. Sometimes people kind of can feel it when they're about to, and that's a great overall theme of Final Destination, I would say, even though this has nothing to do with Final Destination has nothing to do with these two, but as far as someone talking about death, you won't see it coming, and I think that's what the beauty of that Final Destination series is, honestly. But and or sometimes you do feel it coming, but that's neither here nor there. But that's just really what Abraham perfectly said. Now we're gonna go into the Sopranos season 6, honestly, in the last season of Sopranos, and they're kind of broaching the same thing. And now we're at the Sopranos, season 6, last season in 2007, I believe. But yeah, we're gonna see what Bobby Bacalari says, or Bacala says, to Tony, how that's what made the ending of the Sopranos so, brilliant, man, because you won't, like, like Bobby says, you won't see it coming. Like Avon said, a little too slow, a little too late. You can't even, like, you can't prepare for it sometimes. Honestly, it's just is what it is. That's why, like, I might, like, we might get the clip at the end. Like, sometimes most of the time, that's how death really is. It's not going to be dramatic or histrionic. Like, like in the words of Patsy Parisi in this, it won't be cinematic. Honestly, that's what made the finale so brilliant. But we're gonna get into what he says about this.
I mean, yeah, our line of work, it's always out there. You probably don't even hear it when it happens, right?
That's your friend in there. I don't want.
Yep, exactly. Like Bobby just said, you won't see it when it happens. You won't even know it's coming. Just like a lot of times, even when the finale, when Tony gets killed, honestly. And that's another video for another day, because I was watching another Sopranos YouTube channel and saying after, like, the guy kind of broke it down how Tony was really, like, this whole season 6 was just like, alternate, like both season 6 and 7. It was like alternate versions of Tony, because, like, originally I think David Chase wanted Tony to die after Uncle. He wanted the series to be over after Uncle Junior shot him, but that's just another story for another day. But and also too with Bobby's death, he didn't see it coming. Honestly, like he was like going. It's all connected to the to the wire, because he didn't have his phone with him. He didn't get the call from Sylvia. A little too slow, a little too late. So it all is interchangeable, man. So yeah. So let's rewind it.
I mean, yeah, our line of work, it's always out there. You probably don't even hear it when it happens, right?
Yeah, you don't hear it when it happens, or you don't see it coming. So, yeah. Just like even kind of with that scene with Sylvia in the restaurant when he got like the blood on his face, he didn't even know. That's how a lot of times it happens. But anyway, man, let's just close out with Patsy Parisi, like it won't be cinematic, and that's how most of the time death is.
It won't be cinematic.